Yes, people, what's happening? A nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. We've got a special podcast tonight. Big Ben Rothwell and the heavyweight world champion Mick TERRILL are going to be joining us live on the podcast. We've got Ben in the background now, so we're going to get him on. What's happening, Ben? You good, mate?
I'm good. Hopefully my setup is all right.
Good, man. Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Sweet. I was wondering if we could start this podcast, Ben, just by talking a bit about how you felt like coming into the BKFC and that. Was it everything you expected it to be?
It was a kind of a shot in the dark. When I came in, there was still that, what is going to happen with the BKFC? Are these guys going to stick around or not? And I was excited by going to the first show. I went to an event where it was in Hollywood, Florida, which they just had a kick-ass event this last weekend. That's like their home base almost. I don't know if they call it that, but they seem to do quite a few shows every year now since they started. That was my first shot at BKFC, seeing a live event. And I knew that I was going to do well at it, but it was kind of cool to see the quality of production and that they wanted to stick around. So I was excited to get on board with this, and they've blown away my expectations because the first show I came in was a Louisiana show, and it was kind of like the normal thing they had been doing, but they followed that up with that show in Colorado that I fought in with Mike Perry, the one that Conor McGregor came to, and that thing just, I think, really, really showed the BKFC was, on a trajectory heading up to be one of the most talked about combat sports on the planet right now. And since then, just a year ago, look at all the things that have taken place. I mean, some major announcements this year, big events are going down. And I'm here to talk about me and Mick TERRILL are going to throw down on a big event here later at the end of the year. That's what we want to get this thing set up and make it happen.
Yeah, 100%. He should be joining us very soon, mate. But what were your thoughts when McGregor, the main man, invested into the company? Because that was just massive for everybody involved, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 2 fights before my fight. It got announced, so I didn't know anything either, and I was excited to say the least. Like it was extra motivation for me going into my fight. Like, man, this thing is really taking off. This is really getting big. Because I've been around for a minute, right? I've been fighting since 1999, so I've seen a lot of things. One thing I know is love or hate Conor McGregor, the man as a promoter, and I just knew it was an awesome thing to have him on board with this.
Yeah, definitely was, mate. And just a quick talk about your last outing with Todd Duffy. What was your overall thoughts and everything on that fight?
For me, it's a win on my record, but it's a disappointment because I put in a lot of time and work, and I wanted to show some of my skills off, and it was another chance to really get in there with somebody. We were built to put on a great fight, and he didn't do what he was supposed to do. It's like take a couple more punches or something. I try to talk for him. Like, I don't even think he knew what the hell was going on. He was talking about his shoulder and stuff like that. But I watched the replays. He hit the back of his head pretty bad on the back rope. I think adrenaline made him stand up, and then he realized that he was not going to be in the fight anymore. I just wish he'd have stayed down and made it a knockout instead of getting back up again, because the way he went down the second time was not good.
Yeah, and I seen you were called out the other night on the post press conference. Did you see that? But is it Podoma?
Oh, is he? Yeah, the kid keeps putting stuff on my social media. Doesn't he call out everybody, or is he just eyeing me up?
I don't know, mate. It's the first time I've heard him call somebody out, but we've got the heavyweight champ in the background now. Here he is, Mick TERRILL. What's happening, Mick?
Look, I'm good, mate. How's you? How are you doing, Ben?
I'm honored. You take time to hop on and talk when I'm around. So,
I haven't seen you for a while, ever. So thought I'd pop in and see what you're doing.
I told him to get you on. He said you started talking. Usually you're pretty, mellow. And I said, all of a sudden you're talking shit again. You're like, oh, I'm gonna knock him out and be home by Sunday. I'm like, I just need to know, though, how much of the shit talk is actually you, or how much is it your manager?
I'm not sure. It depends what platform you're looking at.
That's right. I knew it. Your manager likes to help you out. I get it.
Hey, that's what you pay them for.
Right.
Don't let them talk too much shit for you, though.
You know, I've got the hands to back it up, so I'm usually all right.
Hey, you're the man everyone wants a piece of right now. So you got the hardware.
That's the shit bit, though, isn't it? You know, when you win, everyone wants to pick you up.
You put down the guy that was adamant he was the greatest and best of all bare knuckle fighters ever, and he didn't even make it past the first round with you. So,
well, Ben, how are you? You've seen how little he was. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen the trend gate. You know what I mean? He's been full of trend or something.
Yeah, and then he's got a second. He takes a second loss. Takes 2 losses on 1 fight.
Oh, kill off for him. But that's the fight game. It'll happen to me one day. Obviously not the trend, but I'll get beat one day, and you just got to take it on the chin.
Yeah, that was I don't know what the hell that guy's doing, but he ain't the man no more. You are. So I think you proved your spot, and you know, my stance is always the same. You and I are the biggest, best heavyweight fight the bare knuckle can offer right now.
100%. 100%.
Word is that I know you were looking at that Spain event. I'm with you. I'd love to go to Spain, but the timeline is we need some other notable fighters to do a card with us. And you know, Platinum Perry, you know, anything he's fighting on, I'd love to be a part of it. And they're talking about, and I'm hearing the very, very end of October, but most likely November. So fingers crossed. That would be a great place for you and I to do battle.
100%. You want to say something there, Lou? I see you trying to jump in there.
Yeah, I was just going to start asking a couple of questions. What people have sent in. What's your thoughts, Mick, on Ben Rothwell's performances so far in the BKFC?
Well, obviously Ben's just got sheer size as an advantage, but if you watch, I think Ben's very good at changing the speed of the fight. He can go, like, he'll just go into a rapid fire of shots, you know. So you've got to watch Ben. He's got fast hands, he moves quick, and then he can slow the tempo down to what he wants, you know. So got to just make sure you're fit and able to move.
Yeah, and what's your thoughts, Ben, on Mick's performances and his run so far in the BKFC?
A guy that keeps improving. So that's always the scary thing. You know, you see a guy that's not complacent. I think the hardware is just making him even more motivated. Watching this fight from Arnold Adams to his last fight, I could already see changes. He's picking up his game. I'm not going to lie. It's not disrespectful, but some of his fights prior to Arnold Adams, I was kind of like, who's he fighting? Or who's he beating? And then he lost Arnold Adams before, and then he came back and made up for it. So that's always an impressive thing. He also said that, you know, he wasn't even well the first time he fought Arnold. He said, you know, he was dealing with a sickness, stuff like that. So he still got in there and fought. So the guy's a warrior on top of it. He's willing to fight sick or injured, and comes back, beats a guy that beat him to get the strap, and he constantly keeps improving. So he's the man right now. And like I said, I followed up with, he just beat the guy that said he was the greatest bare knuckle fighter of all time. He didn't even make it past the first round with Mick. So, you know, Mick's the guy right now. I'm the difference from Juggernaut. Juggernaut wanted to cut him down and say, like, he didn't even deserve to fight with him. And I'm opposite. You know, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Mick's the heavyweight champ, you know, and he's the guy that's got the run right now, and he's the best in the business. That's why I want to fight him. I haven't got to show that much of my skills. I believe in bare knuckle. You know, Mick's got, when it comes to experience, he's got more fights than me too. So it's a big opportunity for me. It's a chance for me to go against a real bare knuckle badass, and a guy that's not going to throw himself on the ground in the first minute. Hopefully, he's gonna come in there, and we're gonna give a battle for the fans, and we're gonna raise the level of the heavyweight division for bare knuckle boxing, fighting.
Definitely. And what would you say, Mick, this is your hardest test to date in the bare knuckle?
100%. It's obviously, like I said, Ben's a very well recognised person I've knew Ben before BKFC, you know, but it's not really actually meet Ben and you realise how fucking big he is. He's massive, you know. But all that and say was I've pushed bigger people out the way to get to a fight.
Ben, what would you say Mick's biggest weaknesses are in his fight game?
Having a problem with my weight. He's mentally fucked in the head right now. It shouldn't matter how much I weigh. I should be 350, 250. It doesn't matter. That's my mentality. You can be as small, big as he wants. The result's going to be the same.
What is the crack with this? If this fight goes
We're
ahead?
figuring it out. We're figuring it out. He doesn't want anything above 265. He wants to make a new belt. Wants to be super heavyweight belt. And there's talks, but honestly, the whole gist was 275. You know, he was going to be 275. He was 270 for his fight in December when he fought Harold Adams. Give it up about the whole commission shit. That's all garbage bullshit. So don't even bother.
Well,
and then he fought.
I will clear things up on that.
He fought. You know, him and Hunt. They wanted his weight lower because Hunt's so small, but we're real heavyweights, and I think 275. You know, I think it's a great weight. It's like I don't think there should be a weight class. Honestly, it's in boxing there isn't. Boxing it's all the way up. But the UFC got everybody's head about that number. That the heavyweights need a number, and it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's a number. You know, let's make a compromise. You know, 275. I still have to do work. I gotta put an effort to be there. So he still gets what he wants, and we're keeping the weight class. We're gonna still allow some bigger boys to come in and fight in here too, because there's some big guys too that even if Mick and I don't fight or whatever happens, I like to be able to fight them too. So we keep it at 275. I'll be able to make fights with those guys as well.
The problem we've got is, Ben will confirm this, when we go to commissions, it's not known as boxing, it goes under the martial arts and mixed martial arts category. Now, the mixed martial arts category is 265. So when I fought Arnold back in Salt Lake City, the weight got moved up to 275. And anyways, when me and Arnold weighed in, we got told off of the commissioner. It was a bit of an argument. We signed a contract and then we're saying it had to be 265. Now, Ben's saying I'm worried about the weight, but I remember looking for Lorenzo after the fight and I bumped into Ben in the corridor. I said, looks like it's me and you next. Really, I don't care about the weight. It's not me. It's the 100% the commission. And Ben says to me, I think they're going to make a new weight category. I says, oh, well, I'll fight at that. So really, it's not down to me. I'm probably the same as you, heavyweight, but it's not me. It's the commission. But
it is.
I'm
it is.
within the rules.
California and Salt Lake Israel is getting bullshit. So I call them, Mick, because I'm the one that you don't have to worry. It doesn't bother you at all. I'm the guy I'm calling the commissions. You're right, though. They're not categorizing as boxing, but they're also not categorizing it as anything outside of what the BKFC says. And every commission so far has told me goes, it's whatever BKFC wants. So I know we got people saying commission, but I can also come back and say it's bullshit because I know the commissioner's name that I talked to for Louisiana, for Colorado, for Salt Lake City, for California, Wisconsin too, because we're in the process of trying to get Wisconsin legalized.
I've been most of them states. I've only fought in Salt Lake City and California, but I remember Salt Lake City. I was busy doing a medical. I had me morning weigh doing the medical. There was an argument about the weight, and I just says, I mean, I'm not even like it. When I weighed in at Salt Lake City, I drank 4 liters of water before the weigh just to try and get an Arnold's head. I could have lost 4 kilos. I think it's 4 liters of water is a kilo a liter. So when I weighed in at 270, I was only 265. I was just full of water. As soon as I got weighed in, I had to go and run and have a wee. It's the very second I weighed in. So when they were complaining about the weight, I thought, I'm good. I'll just go and have a pee. I think I had a 25-minute wee. I was like Austin Powers wee straight away. So I could have just easily lost the weight straight away. I was probably walking around 265 on that fight.
Yeah, you're not as big as me. I mean, you don't give a shit about the weight. This is what I'm hearing. This big event I'm talking about, potentially you and I are going to fight on, I can guarantee you they don't give a shit about weight classes. So
100%. I agree with you on that one.
We should be good. We should be good on that aspect and just let the better man win.
So if this fight goes to super heavyweight, will it not be for a belt?
No, I'm
I think
saying
will.
where we're going, it shouldn't matter. They should be able to just do a heavyweight title fight.
Ah, right. I'm with you now. I'm with you.
Yeah, they don't care.
Where would the preferred location be for this fight to happen? Would it be in the UK?
Doesn't bother me, you know. I don't care. It's
you fight in
something
the
getting
UK?
ready to be done. I don't care.
Would you
I
fight
mean,
in the UK?
I don't think it's going to happen in any of these places, but Ireland would be bonkers for a number of reasons. Japan would be cool because I like it there, but again, that would be a new market for me and Mick to build some fans. Obviously, in the UK, Big Ben coming to the UK to fight, the heavyweight champ. I think that's got some selling points. That would be fun. Couple places in the United States are always going to make fun places to do it. But I have a feeling that we're gonna enter a new location. Like I said, I can't say too much. Yeah, we don't know too much yet, but I just hear things. And the BKFC, look at what they're doing, man. They just keep opening up new locations, throwing bigger events. So I'm excited to see what we can turn this into.
If I could pick a location, really, I would like to have Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. If I could get a Vegas fight, that would be great.
It's a hell of a place to fight. Yeah, it's a good place to fight.
They're sanctioned in Vegas yet? Or they're still trying to get sanctioned in Vegas, aren't they?
In Nevada, wouldn't it? The state.
California really helped, but I don't know that Vegas has officially done it yet. I can't imagine why, but as far as I heard, that's why an event hasn't been done there yet.
Yeah, do you think just some of the states are still seeing it as the sport too brutal?
Like Wisconsin's all in, but it's all legislate. It's all government. It's all politics and legislation, and you got to get all the approvals from all these people. They're approving it. It's just taking forever. I think Vegas is a lot of the same. It's like they know they're good with it. They allowed slap fighting. All right. So like, that was kind of a lost a little bit of credibility there. But what we have is the California is extremely hard. The medicals that Mick and I had to do is unreal. That's the most medicals I've ever had to do for a fight in my life. Crazy, California is tough, extremely tough. And we got approved there. So I feel like that was the crown jewel. Like we should be good. It's just a matter of legislation and getting actual senators and stuff to sign off. That's it now. As far as the acceptance and being safe and everything, I think we're there. We got it done with California.
I know it costs a lot of money in that, but do you think USADA route will ever take place within the BKFC?
Sorry, what was that last part?
USADA, the anti-doping agency. Do you think they'll ever take place within the BKFC?
UFC dropped them for a reason. Like it wasn't what everybody thought it was. USADA came in right at the beginning, and they just wanted to put fighters' heads on poles as trophies. Look what we're doing. Look what a great job. They don't give a shit about the fighter's health at all. All USADA cared about was USADA. They wanted you to talk about USADA, how great USADA is. Look at USADA. They're fucking cunts. It's the truth, man. I know innocent guys that are fucking badass athletes that are clean, and they had their careers fucked with because of USADA. They don't care. These guys brought in endocrinologists. They had doctors. They're like, listen, this is the fighter's health, and they didn't care. But then when a certain fighter has shit that has no business being in the system, German engineered fucking shit, now it's picograms. Now all of a sudden it's a different fucking story. And it's just bullshit. It's all bullshit. And I feel bad for the fighters that they fucked over. And I feel, angry at the guys that, because they were a bigger name, they got away with it. So I think the whole shit, just get it out of here.
So this thing that's circling around on social media now with what's going on with Hunt. What's the crack with that then?
I feel like let the commission. The commission's doing their thing. Let the commissions do their job, and
Yeah, I get it.
We don't need guys showing up at 4 a.m, busting balls on different people randomly, and then when certain people get certain things, then we cut this guy a break and not that guy, and it's all bullshit. Just let the commissions do their job, like California did. California did their job.
really, I think that the results though need to come back sooner because let's say, I mean, as far as we know, he's tested positive for Trent. Now, if you know anything about steroids, I train in a weightlifting gym. Trent sends people loopy and it doubles their strength. So I'm in a press conference where he's shouting, "I'm a dead man," and he's going to punch chunks out of us. And then I had a feeling he was going to fail the test on the weigh day because it was a funny thing. Well, we've had to be tested. I've went and got tested, and then Lorenzo was trying to take his dad in the room with him, thinking it was just going to be him and his dad. But when you get tested, there's actually a man over your shoulder looking at you having a wee. So Lorenzo disappeared, changed his pants, and he come back and you can visibly see he's had a bottle in his pants. And then the testing bloke says, I'm gonna watch you. So he disappeared again. And I think he just sort of realised I'm gonna have a wee. So he's went in and had the pee. And then on the day of the fight, the commissioner actually told us Lorenzo had to be tested again. I'm pretty sure he got tested twice on the day of the fight. So there must have been something's flagged up. You know what I mean? From him to get tested twice. I don't know about you, Ben. I think you probably just got tested once on the weigh day. And
yeah, most guys, you could do either, and just follow the rules and do what the commission said. You're good, and that's what the rest of us did.
I know that's what I done. I know the commissioner told us on the day of the fight, Lorenzo had to be tested again, and then
he was obviously freaking out because he knew he knew you was in trouble.
It's like fair. I mean, he's took what he's took, but Trent it sends you a loopy Trent. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, it's, when someone's saying, "I'm a dead man," they're going to punch chunks out of us, and they're on Trent. The probably's been it.
Yeah, it's not fucking good life for the sport, to be honest. But you're going to get it in every sport, aren't you? You're never ever going to stop it.
Every sport. I mean, if there's money at stake, people are going to do shit. That's how it is. I got to give Mick credit though. I don't know how to say a better man, so to speak, but maybe on this he is. But when him and Hunt were on the press conference and Hunt took his knuckle, I wasn't there. I was running late, and I seen this shit afterwards. But when I got there, I seen they were both mad. I was like, "What the hell's going on?" I was like, "Oh man!" People were just like, "Oh man!" I seen the video after. Hunt stands up behind him and pushes his head like this with his hand. I give you props, man, because me and Hunt would have that would have been it right then and there. You're smart. You're like, all right, I'm gonna save this thing for fight day because
I want to get paid. That's the main thing.
Dude, don't touch me, man. I'm always gonna respect your space, respect my space. That shit. I can't believe he did that to you, and I can't believe more people didn't, say shit to him. You were just sitting there. And then he does it behind your head on top of it. It pissed me off, honestly. It really did.
You'd be sort of on edge being at a press conference with him. Look at what he done to Mike Richmond, slapped him. Look at what he done to Riggs when he stuffed a tomato in his face to Hector Lombard.
That was the big thing. I thought if he had damaged me clothes I was wearing, I think I would have probably set about him straight away. He pushes in the head, but I've had a tomato chucked and stained me clothes. I think I would have been a little bit more disappointed. But we've just been told off Dave just before we went out. Our lads said, "Keep everything good. We've just getting the commission sorted. Don't kick off." And then he's done that, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, he's trying to make a mug out of us, and I'm thinking, I just want to knock his head off. But I had a feeling he would have tried to play injury. If I had hit him, I know he's smaller than us, so I think I would definitely hurt him. I'm not being funny. When I fought him, he had no power. When we're clinching, I moved him wherever I wanted to move him, really, and he didn't have a lot of strength. So I was thinking, if I hit him, he might not fight. You know what I mean? It's because I think, like Ben says, in that situation, you're not fighting for as a game. You're fighting because you're fighting. You know what I mean? You're there to the death, really, in that situation. But I'm not sure if he was trying to goad that out of us.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's a talk. Part of me is like, okay, he talks, he's trying to promote, but at that press conference, he just went fucking overboard. He was saying just fucked up shit. It was just like
because it was the B-side, wasn't it? He wanted to be on
that. That's what got me. It was a disrespect he was showing the other fighters. He was calling them. I'm thinking, Lorenzo, you haven't had the greatest career of yourself in your MMA. You've got more losses than wins, and you've got Todd Duffy sat there who's got a good MMA record, and he's calling him a bum. And I'm thinking, Yeah, fair enough. He hasn't had any bare knuckle fights, but he's had a good fighting career. You know what I mean? He's definitely not a bum.
Wasn't it
You know what I mean?
Thiago Alves as well? He was sat next to.
Aye, Thiago Alves, and then what was the boxer called as well? He was a really good pro boxer.
The
called him
Yeah, I mean, that guy was like a former champ and stuff. So.
Mexican
Aye,
one.
I'm thinking.
His name.
Aye, just got
Angulo.
Yeah, that's him. Aye, it's like, aye, it's, I think, you know, when someone puts you on the pedestal that much, I think you just believed he belonged there, you know.
You definitely knocked him off it.
Oh, he's, I wouldn't care, you know, like, you know, after that fight, I know he's broke his arm, you know, but like, I definitely caught with an uppercut. And to be fair, you know, I've went into that fight the past year and a half, even when I fought Arnold, I've had no left arm. Lou knows this as well. I've trapped a nerve in me neck. I said 4 discs last year, so I've had a trapped nerve in my arm for the past year and a half. So my left arm's I'm only just starting to get the feeling back in my arm. So when I fought Arnold, that's why I was getting jabbed so much, because I was that much concentrating on his right hand because I couldn't use my left. So when I've hit Arnold, Lorenzo, sorry, I went with a double uppercut because I kind of throw left hook at that point. My left hook wasn't, I was trying to like sort of swing it rather than throw it. So I think if I could have went with the left hook, I would have knocked him unconscious. But of course, the second uppercut's come and it's missed. And everyone's going, oh, he slipped over. And I definitely punched him on the underside of his chin. Like, he definitely went down with the uppercut.
Yeah, it was a queer injury. One of you could. What did he actually do? Break his elbow or dislocate his arm or something?
I don't think so, because he was doing dips. He was doing dips, you know, like a few
Well, that
weeks
shit was
later.
dislocated. It was dislocated. But they just put it back into place, so I don't think any of his tendons, you know, got fucked up or anything. But the bone definitely was out. Like, he fell on his arm wrong, big time. Because of the uppercut. You know, the uppercut dropped him 100%.
I've had somebody today saying the floor was slippy. he slipped over because the floor was slippy.
No. His uppercut fucking ate all of that shit the wrong way.
You think Mick gets the credit he deserves, Ben, for doing what he's done within the bare knuckle?
It seems like it's turning around. After the Arnold fight, there was some questionable conduct that took place, but it seems like now with his manager, and he's out in the forefront now. So that's what's important, that we get out there again and, you know, try to get a fight this year for sure. We can't wait too long. We got to get out and put on a fight. And I think it's the most exciting heavyweight fight bare knuckle can put together right now.
You see, you know, the problem I had, you know, the first Arnold fight, and I was seriously ill, right? Dave Feldman had paid for me to go to Mexico for 2 weeks to isolate. Now, if I had phoned David like 10 days in and says, oh, by the way, David, I'm not feeling very well, I'm going to have to pull out. And that was my first fight in the BKFC. Everybody would have went, Terrill's he's a coward. Because it's happened to other fighters, you know, when they pulled out, and they're like, oh, he's a coward, he pulled out. So I was in a lose-lose situation. I went in, had the fight and lost. And then everyone's, oh, well, Terrill's crap, he's not as good as what he thinks. But like, I'd lost over a stone in that week, you know, when I wasn't well. But like, I just says to my coach at the time, Andy, he's still my coach now, just says, I'm going to have to go and do it, just so no one calls us a coward. I'd rather get beat than be a coward. So, I mean, it's the worst feeling in the world, you know. I was standing at the apron ready to go to the fight, and Andy's patted us on the back, and it hurt. And usually, you know, when you're ready for a fight, you don't really, the adrenaline takes over, I don't feel pain. And I remember looking at me cornerman and Andy, and I just says, Andy, I'm going to get beat up today. And he went, what, don't talk like that. I says, Andy, I'm going to get hurt today. I says, that hurt. I says, I shouldn't be feeling that. So going into a fight knowing that you're definitely going to lose, honestly, it's the worst feeling in the world. But I'd rather do that and be a coward.
Yeah, 100%. I remember you saying ages ago, near the fight, like you were like, but the company's paid for the hotel, the flights, and that. I can't pull out now. Like, you were just bothered about that, weren't you, more than fucking pulling out of the fight?
You'd be a coward, you know, a time-wasting coward. You know, I would never have fought again. I honestly believe if I had pulled out that fight in Mexico, coming over to Florida, I would never have fought again. They would have just said, waste of time. He's went for the free holiday.
Did you say it was in Mexico or New Mexico?
Mexico. We had to go to, during the COVID, you had to go to Mexico to isolate. Quarantine, you had to be there because that was an amber country. And then from Mexico, you had to come into America. So I had to go to Mexico 2 weeks early for the fight. And then literally I got flew back in on the way day.
Whoa, that's pretty rough.
It's fucking crazy that when you think about it, to be honest, like all that quarantine shit that went on, wasn't
And then it turns out it's all bullshit. You know what I mean? So let's say, I think more people died on that COVID because they couldn't get to the doctors. You know, like the doctors were shutting down. So it's but it was funny one where we got to the airport to go to America, and then we hadn't quarantined enough, so we got sent back to the hotel. So I literally flew in as they were doing the ceremonial weigh-ins, you know, on the day of the fight. So it was like, it wasn't until the night before the fight, around about, I don't know, it was about 7, 8 o'clock at night. That's when I flew in to America. So I literally had like 7 o'clock at night, got there, quickly weighed in, and then had the fight.
Crazy, man. What do we need to do to make this fight happen then? What messages can we send to the BKFC now, Mr. David Feldman? Have you got any messages to send through to him?
This is the only fight that can happen.
Yeah, this is everybody that, all the fans, I see it online, everybody I know, pretty sure everybody Mick knows. I see Mick fans even saying, yeah, that's the fight. That's the fight that makes sense. So yeah, I'm 3-0, you know, with the name and you know, it's like I said, I'm excited because I look at all the bare knuckle heavyweight fights. Mick and I are it, man. We're going to be the biggest heavyweight title fight that's taking place for the BKFC.
The thing is, Ben will realise this as well. You know, when you go around the gyms, heavyweights are normally cowards. You know what I mean? The heavyweights don't want to spar with the heavyweights. And I've noticed this, but like me and Ben are standing there saying, we're the two best there is at the minute. We want to fight. So let the fight happen. You know what I mean? Just, it will happen. 100% it's going to happen. But like, you've got two people who actually stand there saying, we want it. So let us have it.
100%. Is what's the possibility of it happening in the UK? You must have a little inkling of the possibility. Can it happen in the UK, or is it totally out the window?
You'd be surprised. We usually find things last. It's
True.
I mean, I live in a world where anything's possible. We never cross off the table. You know, it is his home area, so that's definitely good for drawing in fans for a live gate. That matters. The two locations that I heard, they want great fights, and that's what him and I bring. It ain't even so much about, you know, the Platinum Perry star power. They want that too, but they want great fights, and that's what I think Mick and I bring to the table more than anything. You got the two highest level heavyweights at bare knuckle are going to do battle.
100%. But I really appreciate his coming on, lads. Is there any more things you want to say to each other? Anything you want to share with the fans before we wrap it up?
Stop letting your manager talk shit to me and act like it's you.
However, then you've just got to suck it up, son. You're going to have to suck it up and give us some back.
Class. Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Just thanks, First Round Management. They help us all. So doing a good job getting these fights set up.
I've got Morgan Gill at Computer Clinic, and I've got Morgan, Team Valley MOT. I've just acquired another one at We Buy Calls for More with Jasper and Chris. So that's my 3 there.
Cushy. And before we wrap it up,
O2's gym as well. That's where I train.
Big up O2's. But another thing before we wrap it up, Mick, how does this fight go with Ben Rothwell?
I'm not delusional. I know this is going to be a hard fight. Ben's no pushover. Ben eats shots as well as he can give them. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a bloodfest. I think I'll have to be on my toes. I might even bring me roller skates to this one. Try and skate around, dance around a bit. But I think this might be just a bloodbath, this one.
What about yourself, Ben? How does the fight go?
Oh, I agree with him. It's all of that. I'm not talking him up because, you know, he's not coming and disappoint me and throw himself on the ground in 40 seconds. It's going to be a war, but he knows I come for the knockout. So I fully expect to win a knockout. And I'm sure he's going to tell everybody he's going to knock me out. And that's why everybody in the world that watch bare knuckle is going to tune into this fight. Who's the biggest and best true bare knuckle fighter right now? I know it's me. I just need a chance. And
doing loads of head exercises. We've got the fastest head in the Northeast now. Try and catch it first.
Class, lads. Thank you very much for coming on, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Spot on.
Thanks,
Cheers,
guys.
Luke. Cheers, Ben. I'll see you in a
Stay
bit.
healthy. Let's get this fight made.
Bye. Good little podcast there with the lads. Listen, people, everybody get over to the BKFC Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channels. Let David Feldman know on the BKFC, this is the fight that you want. This is the main fight, the only fight that can happen in the heavyweight division now. So make sure you get on it and get this fight made. Hopefully it's in the UK as well, people. But really appreciate everybody tuning in there. This podcast was sponsored by Mansell Expert, Noir Boxing, and RST Transportation and Recoveries. You can watch this podcast back on YouTube and the BKFC app. Respect, everyone. Good night, God bless.